Hi guys, welcome back to the YouTube channel. Today we're going to be reacting to the just completed Champions League and Europa League draws. Trust me, they are some interesting. The game is then sweet. There are some interesting matches in the Champions League quarterfinals and semi-final stages, and we're going to be going through all of them. Let's go. So we're going to go into the Champions League draw. Now for the first quarterfinal draw, we have Real Madrid versus Chelsea. Oh, Chelsea. But, you know, in a way, I am not too bothered because this is Champions League. Because if you're not ready to face the big dogs, if you're not ready to face the best teams in the world, then you should not be hoping to get into the Champions League, because that's only what's going to happen. So in a way, I'm like, okay, it is what it is. But again, as a Chelsea fan, I'm like, must we always play Real Madrid? We played them in 2020 2021 season. We played them in 2021 2022 season. Now we're playing them in 2023 season as well. So when these two sides met in the Champions League in 2020-2021, Chelsea were victorious over two legs. It was quite an interesting game, quite an interesting game, but I think Chelsea were the better side and they got the victory over two legs. But that was not the case in 2021-2022 season, where Real Madrid became victorious over two legs. Chelsea tried in Bernabeu, tried to overturn the deficits, but they were not just able to do so. But now this is yet again another matchup between Real Madrid and Chelsea. I'm not going to lie, Real Madrid, as a Chelsea fan, I know the quality they possess. Okay, Real Madrid, I'm talking about Real Madrid. I know the quality they possess. They've literally won this competition 14 times, and they are currently the defending champions. So if we were lucky enough, we would have probably gotten some easier teams, but we got Real Madrid. Okay, and we're going to play the game. I like the fact that we're playing in Bernabeu first, and then we're coming over to Stamford Bridge. If we can go there and we can get the result, even if it's the draw, we go there, get the result, and then we take that to Stamford Bridge, then we stand a really good chance. I'm sure Real Madrid will be happy with this tie as well. I'm sure they were trying to avoid, or they were hoping they would avoid, teams like Bayern Munich or even Manchester City. But you know, like I said, it's the Champions League. Everybody has to play. If you want to be in the Champions League, then you have to play the big teams, and that's what we're getting from the first tie in the quarterfinal stage is of the Champions League. Real Madrid versus Chelsea. I think this tie will take place. The first leg will take place 11th of April 2023. It promises to be amazing. Let's jump right into the next one: Benfica versus Inter Milan. Now, I'm not going to. I feel like a lot of people would say, okay, yeah, Inter Milan has more European pedigree than Benfica. Inter Milan, you know, should be on paper the better side and probably the team most people will see go through. I watched Benfica play Club Brugge in the round of 16, and it wasn't a funny experience because Club Brugge did not know what hit them, especially in the reverse feature in Benfica's ground. They were exceptional, and now they are going to play Inter Milan. Inter Milan managed to scrape through against Porto with a 1-0 win in both legs, 1-0 aggregate score in both legs. But now they are going to face a high-flying Benfica squad who, even without Enzo Fernandez, they still are showing a lot of quality, scoring a lot of goals. And I think this game is going to be a tight game. It will be a very tight game, but I think Benfica might actually scrape through to the semi-finals of the Champions League. Except there's also something I forgot to point out when I was talking about the Champions League game between Real Madrid and Chelsea. You know, as it stands right now, Real Madrid are favorites, obviously, because not just because of the Champions League pedigree, but also because of form, right? But then we don't know what form these teams will be in the next 3 weeks to 4 weeks. We do not know exactly what form they will be in, and that would matter a whole lot because momentum is very good for fixtures like this, knockout features like this. So we're just going to wait, we're going to see. But I think if these teams are still on their current form as they are right now, I think Benfica might actually just sneak this. Now for the big game, I think this literally might be the biggest game of the Champions League quarterfinal stages. Manchester City versus FC Bayern Munich. this is an incredible match. An incredible match. I feel like for us football fans, we would definitely we would have wanted something like this, probably in the semi-final stages. But whenever we're getting it, we're literally pleased. We're literally, ecstatic about that because this is a very good clash. The first leg will be taking place in Etihad Stadium in Manchester City's ground. I feel like this game is going to have a whole lot more quality than the Bayern Munich versus PSG game because Manchester City are not just a good side, but they're a good side that wants this competition. They've been trying for this competition since Pep Guardiola became this manager for Manchester City, but they've not just gotten it yet. So I'm like this season, with the way Erling Haaland is firing, with all of the goals he's scoring, I feel like it's going to definitely be a chance for Manchester City to get this competition. They will feel it as well. So it's going to be an interesting match. But Bayern Munich obviously are not the side to write off as well. They are also a very good side. They have good players, Jamal Musiala. Even Choupo-Moting is actually turning up and doing the business. Coleman is doing the business. I feel like all eyes will be on this side to see who goes through because these two teams are actually favorites for this competition. And for them to be playing each other in the quarterfinal stages, amazing. So yeah, this is one tie to not miss. One amazing tie to not miss. Last but not least, in the quarterfinal stages of the Europa Champions League 2023, we have Milan versus Napoli, the high-flying Napoli. I feel like Napoli would really be enthusiastic about their chances in the Champions League now with the way the draws are set because they are not just playing a side that they are used to because they are both in the Italian league, but they're also playing this side with this amount of form that they are on. Napoli looks favorite to go through in this tie. Napoli looks favorite to go through in this tie because they have the edge against Milan right now in terms of form, in terms of their players playing with a whole lot of confidence, in terms of their position in the league and all of that. I know the Champions League is a different competition altogether. We already know the Champions League pedigree and history that Milan has. I think they've won the competition about 5 times, or if not 6. And Napoli, this is the first time they're ever getting to the quarterfinal stage. So in terms of the Champions League, Milan has more pedigree, has more history, has more experience than Napoli. But like I said, we have to wait to see the form these clubs will be playing on during the week of the Champions League quarterfinals. But like I said, Napoli are favorites to win this particular tie. It's going to be interesting. It's going to definitely be. Now we also know the semi-final tie as well. The winner of AC Milan versus Napoli will play the winner of Benfica versus Inter Milan. So this has a tendency of becoming an all-Italian tie as well, because obviously Napoli and AC Milan are from Italy. So definitely one Italy team will go to one Italian team rather. Definitely one Italian team will go to the semi-final stages. Now, would they be facing Inter Milan or Benfica? I think they might be facing Benfica. But yeah, that promises to be an amazing tie. Imagine a semi-final. My prediction, first of all, if we're just talking about the semi-final stages right now for this tie, I think my prediction for the semi-final stages in this particular tie will be Napoli versus Benfica for the semi-finals. Now, in the next semi-final stage, we have Real Madrid. The winners in Real Madrid versus Chelsea will play the winners in Manchester City versus Bayern Munich. And my prediction for this one as well is Chelsea versus Manchester City, the repeat of the 2021 final. Now, it might just be Chelsea versus Bayern Munich. I really cannot pick a side, but I think Manchester City with Erling Haaland, with how much they want him more than Bayern Munich, I think they might just nick it from Bayern Munich. But definitely, I think Chelsea is going through. Definitely, I think Chelsea is going through. And let me just tell you something. If anything makes Chelsea get to the semi-finals of the UEFA Champions League, then it's on. Then it's literally on. It is literally on, because this is what Chelsea do. This is what we do. This is what we do. We play really bad in the league, and then we go on to win the Champions League. So don't write us off yet. Don't write us off yet. Basically, there you have it. Those are the quarterfinals draw and the semi-final draw for the Champions League 2023. Write in the comment sections your predictions. Which teams do you think will go through to the semi-final stage? Which team do you think will go through to the finals of the UEFA Champions League? Now we're also going to jump into the Europa League. We also have big teams in this competition as well, like the likes of Juventus, Manchester United, Roma with Jose Mourinho. So all of these teams are still in the Europa League, and the draw for the quarterfinals has been set as well. Now Juventus will be playing Sporting, who actually knocked Arsenal out of the Europa League last night. Manchester United will be playing Sevilla, Feyenoord will be playing Roma, and Bayern Leverkusen will be playing Union Saint-Gilloise. Now, these ties are really feisty, really interesting. I personally think Manchester United they have everything it takes to actually win the Europa League right now. I think they do. I think they just have a little bit more quality. I think they have a little bit more grit about them. I think Erik ten Hag is a really good coach. I know he has, like, the blip against Liverpool would have some people doubting his ability, but I think with the way he has performed throughout the season, not just that match in particular, but throughout the season, I think he has what it takes to actually take them through from the quarterfinal stage to the semi-final stage, and possibly to the finals, and also lifting the Europa League title. But they would have some real good fights from Sevilla. Sevilla are not going to just come and lie down and take it. They are going to actually fight for this because, like I said, it's the Europa League. And also Juventus would literally play the winners of Manchester United and Sevilla. So if Manchester United goes through against Sevilla, they will definitely play either Juventus or Sporting. See me assuming Juventus will beat Sporting. Who knows? Sporting might actually do what they did to Arsenal to Juventus as well. And then Roma has a very good and interesting game with Feyenoord, who literally destroyed Shakhtar Donetsk 7-1 last night. Roma would have to play with Feyenoord and Jose Mourinho. We know what he can do. We know he lifted up the Conference League last season, and he's literally trying to do the same with the Europa League this season. So I'm not writing Roma off as well. Let me just get to my predictions for the Europa League. I think Juventus will nick it against Sporting. Sporting really played really well. They played really well against Arsenal. But I think Juventus, because of their experience, will nick it against Sporting. I think Manchester United would nick it against Sevilla. I think Roma will nick it against Feyenoord, and I think Bayer Leverkusen will nick it against Union Saint-Gilloise. Now, in the semi-final stages, I think Manchester United will nick it against Juventus, and Roma will get the victory against Bayer Leverkusen. And then we'll see a finals between Manchester United and Roma. Jose Mourinho back against the Manchester United team. There you have it. That's your breakdown. That's your reaction. That's the preview, the initial preview to all of the games for the Champions League quarterfinals and semi-final stages, and also the Europa League quarterfinal stages. Also, if you've not subscribed to the channel, please do so. Like the video, comment, share, leave us a comment telling us your own predictions for the Champions League and Europa League games. So we'll definitely love to see them. There you have it. I'm going to see you in the next one.